Coming up on our next segment.
Man, it is 2018 and black people are still being lynched. And I know that that sounds crazy, but this is a very true story. And this is something that affects I wouldn't say it not only affects the family, but it affects all of us too, because just looking at this in all retrospect, really, that this is like traumatizing for us. Because really, again, it is about white people, like you said, whites are wilding through the whole time.
Right.
But this is them trying to relay this same message of that we're still on top, and you guys can't even try to disrupt what's going on here.
Right.
And the mother of the young man who was lynched, his name was Dayne Jones. His mother, Melissa McKinney, she is an activist out of St. Louis, and she works with Mike Brown's family. And what she said was to the reporter that you will respect my son, and he is not suicidal. Because initially they tried to rule this as a suicide, which I thought was just crazy to me, because do you really think that somebody's going to hang themselves inside of a backyard? Like, that right there is the authorities, the people who's in control not caring because they think that he's just going to do this to himself. And
they said the same thing about Sandra Bland.
Right, that was ruled as a suicide. And then I found this case so interesting as well, because his mother was involved in Ferguson, and she said for weeks that they were receiving death threats, and she never reported this to the cops. But
wow, well, why didn't she?
I have no idea, because she said
she can't
that
trust
she
the
was
cop
afraid.
because she's a protester.
And I think that was the context behind that, and seeing how her son, he was lynched, they were receiving death threats on social media saying that you're going to die.
She said people were pulling up in their driveway.
At the front door. So seeing that this actually went through, and that people are, not people, but the authorities are ruling this as a suicide, it's scary.
There was another Darren Seals, another activist from Ferguson.
He was burned inside of his car, right?
Yep. In
like
2016.
Light himself on fire. And I thought that was very interesting about his case too, was that he and D. Ray McKesson, who is the face of Black Lives Matter movement, and if you guys don't know who this is, he's the guy who wears the blue vest.
Yeah.
There you go.
He also ran for mayor of Baltimore.
Oh, he did? Okay.
At one time, yeah.
Very interesting. But seeing that case as well, I mean, I don't know, but some people say it's conspiracies, like within his death, that some people feel like somebody probably murdered him, which they had to, because there's no way that he would burn himself alive. But it's scary. It's very scary.
His pants were rolled down.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so she's saying, like, he couldn't have done that himself. Like, why would you deliberately roll your pants down like that?
Yeah. When
they found him. That's the fourth person connected to the Ferguson protests that have died.
Man, that's something serious.
Each death is suspicious.
Didn't the Black Lives Matter dude get killed too?
Yeah. Seals, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. And again, I mean, it's 2018, but these people, these white supremacists, they don't care. They don't care what year it is. They don't care who's involved. This is them trying to send that message of they're still going to prevail. And I think all of this derives to President Trump. Like, he's their whistleblower. He's the one who's truly inspiring them. And I know that he's not going to say that outright. His campaign, his party, they're going to deny that as much as possible. But I think that he is the main person behind this, because he's inspiring them every single time.
I pray that they get to the bottom of it. I don't know how much of an investigation you can do. I would say they should probably research the white supremacists in their area.
Most definitely.
Because especially now, with all these white supremacist hate crimes that have been going on, just the other day, 2 people were shot at a yoga studio in Tallahassee, Florida.
Yep.
And the guy that actually did the killing of these 2 women and shot 5 other people, he was said to have been someone that was arrested for, like, grabbing women before. You know, who does that sound like? I mean, it's just so obvious that...
it sounds like your boy.
You know, these people that are doing this stuff, they've been just encouraged to do all this stuff by Trump. Like, he's not necessarily saying, like you said, it's a dog whistle. It's something that only they can understand. Yep. And they think it's okay.
And I think that has or something that has really opened up my eyes when it comes to voting or being active, because seeing how one person like President Trump can just influence so many people, and seeing now, or even when it's the most simplistic things of white people calling the cops on black people walking down the street selling water, an older white woman saying that a younger black man touched her. And I think that all of this derives from Trump, because they had this brand new arrogance, confidence. But Warren Sapp on Black TV, his interview, it was very great. I saw it, and he was saying, I know Warren Sapp's crazy though, but he was saying that that this doesn't solely derive from Trump. That this, if you want to go further back, let's look at President Obama being elected in 2008, and that's what's really infuriated so many white people. And I'm not saying that we didn't have police brutality before this or all these other things, but I think that from President Obama, them having a black man as president, that caused a lot of hatred. So
absolutely,
I see it now. It's crazy, and
absolutely.
I think it was a spike in white supremacist groups ever since 2008 or something like that. So
yeah, it's because they can't stand to have a black man in charge. And what do you think they're going to do if there's a black woman in charge? So do you guys think that if Stacey Abrams wins, when Stacey Abrams wins, that there's going to be a spike in hate crimes in Georgia?
I think so. Honestly, I mean, I don't want to say that, I'll be afraid for her life because you said this on Thursday. Obama, he made it through. But I think that Georgia is different because I think that Gillum, that's going to be big too in Florida. So when we incorporate Florida and Georgia at the same time,
that's another huge election.
They're going to have a fit. If we have a black male governor in Florida, and then we have a black female governor in Georgia, that's a lot to take in. Yeah,
shout out to everybody in Florida. I hope that you have gotten your vote in. They can actually vote today. Today's the last day for their early voting.
Okay.
But Andrew Gillum,
he's going to win, though.
Obama was down there stomping for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very intelligent guy. I really like him. And I really hope that he wins. And they are resorting to those same racist tactics.
There you go.
The robocalls. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah.
The robocall. They have them in Georgia now. They have a fake Oprah Winfrey voice.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. Saying what exactly?
This is Oprah. Vote for something. Like, it's just, satire.
Wow.
It sounds like an old Negro movie, something crazy.
Man.
So, Florida, go ahead and vote if you haven't voted already.
It's huge. But I'm kind of scared, Kim, because, again, I just think that we are in the Confederate States, like the heartbeat of it.
They don't want to let it go.
Exactly. So seeing that, it's going to be crazy. That's a lot to take in. A black female governor and then a male governor who's black in the state of Florida.
That is a lot to take in.
Yeah.
And Andrew Gillum, one of his policies that he wants to change is the stand your ground law. So if that doesn't get your ass up to go out and vote for him, I don't know what does.
That has to change.
Because that has to change. Like, that's literally your children's lives are on the line. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that Trayvon Martin's mom said was that she wasn't even aware of the stand your ground law. That was one of the things that surprised me about with all that. But, definitely look out and vote for that. Mm-hmm. So, how is this election? It's very exhausting living in one of these states. I mean, the TV, the ads are crazy. Mm-hmm. Has this affected any of y'all friendships, your relationships? Do your friends talk about it? They say the young people are voting in record numbers now. So, yeah.
We vote.
I talk about it with people. I'm a person that I don't judge you off your opinion. Like, if you got an opinion, you got an opinion. It's just because you believe in something don't mean it, and I don't mean that we gotta be mad at each other, nothing like that. But I mean, I do feel like it's a lot of people that's getting involved.
Right.
It's a good thing. It's waking people up.
Yeah.
Right.
So, starting a lot of conversation. That's what I always say. That's one thing I like about Trump. He started a lot of conversation.
He did.
He made people really care about politics because even with I just seen it this morning. They said with the change, when Obama, they said the acronym for change was.
Who said that?
Get in or something like that.
Wow.
Oh, really?
See if I can find it.
After I leave here, I'm gonna go over to OLG, Old Lady Gang. They're having a text out the vote brunch.
Oh, that's dope.
So, I don't know what all we have to do, but I'm gonna go and see if maybe we can text. I signed up to do some campaigning with Stacey Abrams.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, you can head to her website. Well, by the time y'all see this, just hope that it just pray. Yeah. They're also having a watch party for the Stacey Abrams campaign downtown.
That sounds fun.
It opens like at 8 p.m. You can watch it there with her and her camp, or you can watch it at home because it's supposed to be raining, but as long as you're paying attention to what's going on. So now what I want to talk about is what do we do next? Mm-hmm. Like, what's plan A and what's plan B? What if Kemp does win? Then what? What if Stacey Abrams does win? Then what? Mm-hmm. I mean, are we going to just fall back like we did for Obama? Like, oh, okay, we got them in.
And let me ask another question. Mm-hmm. What's your colleague got an office in, what's her name?
Keisha Bottoms.
And it might be some other support going on that I don't see, but I don't see all that energy that was there behind her in the election.
I think I see T.I. does stuff still with her. I don't know.
I'm saying as far as the people.
Yeah.
The people push for her to get in office. Now she's in office. Now what are we requiring her to do? And that's my thing. Like, I'm glad that you brought that up because
we don't hold black politicians accountable.
What are we going to require Stacey Abrams to do?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to require her to get this Medicaid thing.
And if she don't?
I mean, she does. She will.
Pissed.
No, I mean, I have faith in her. I really do.
That's a great question.
I mean, it's not like she's going to be able to work alone. That's what I'm saying. We have to stand behind our candidates.
That's what I'm saying. I definitely feel
no matter
like
who it is, voting is just half of the deal.
Keisha, because I don't feel like there was a lot of energy behind her campaign. Everybody wanted her in office. But a year later, when shit done died down, it's like...
Yeah. And, bro, Jay Black, I'm going to be completely real. And I know that politics, policies, it takes time. But Atlanta, it looks exactly the same to me. Except for the State Farm Arena, but that's more of this corporate move, which doesn't affect us. But homelessness is still very prevalent around us, crime, like all that stuff. And I get it, all these rates, they could have gone down. But like what you said, I think when it comes to us as black people, when we vote for somebody, we have all the energy in the world, but we don't have actual requirements of, hey, when you get in office, we need X, Y, and Z to get done. But also we have zero leverage because we don't lobby. We don't have money behind politics.
But that's because we put politics on the back burner until something goes on. Then we're just like, oh, we need to bring awareness to this situation. Yeah. No, you should have been on top of this situation.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like protesting. We keep running
that's being reactive instead of proactive.
That's what I'm saying. Like
this is being proactive voting.
We should I understand Obama first term, we voted for him, we all happy. We ain't put shit behind it. His second term, we voted for him again, and we didn't I guess push him to do what we wanted him to do. Or some people would say. We got 8 years of this experience of voting somebody in and then not really requiring them to do anything. It's like
hey, we got a black president.
That's what I'm saying. So now that we getting this cat from Florida, if he get in, we got Keisha in, if Stacey Abrams get in, we need to start making these people, we need to hold these people accountable.
There you go.
We do. We will.
That's what I'm saying. We need to.
Because I'm going to be completely honest. We did not hold President Obama accountable. And yes, I get it. He had some great policies. I get that. But I feel like most black people, they're probably even afraid to say this. But we felt like we were let down just a little bit. And
I think that what black people did was not so much really look at what he did, because he did a lot for us.
Against a lot too. He went against a lot.
He fought against a lot. He did do a lot.
Obama, people wanted him.
He wants like Trump. They wanted him to be like the exact opposite of Trump.
Transform everything.
For black, to be like pro-black, like how Trump is, and like fire up. How he's firing up like the racist. He wanted him to fire up like the the black nationalists.
Yeah. And that's why I respect Obama, because
he was neutral.
You in a position. You running a country. You're not running a Black Panther.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I understand that. And then the thing about Obama too, I think the reason black people they felt let down is because he didn't do things directly. But he did things like letting people out of jail,
pardons and things like that.
A lot of those people are black people. Yeah. I mean, I'm saying a lot of people that's locked up as black people. So he was doing things indirectly. I would say for black people.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Like a lot of the things that
he couldn't just come out and do straight black shit, because like you said, the people that's in control of everything, they gonna be mad.
We talked about one of the things last week about student loans.
Yeah.
He was trying to make those non-accredited colleges that kept popping up, those for-profit colleges that every month there was a new school and they were just making money and getting student loan money and pushing you through the system. And then it was hustling y'all. Yeah. And Obama said no. Just like the credit card companies, the interest rates, just like the banks, those rates, just like pay. Yeah. Like all that stuff, it was for poor people, because besides the fact that there's this whole race thing, there's a class thing.
Yep.
And what the white people that are so pro-Trump don't understand is, it doesn't matter if you're black or white if you don't have any money.
Yep.
Because he's about making the rich people richer and the poor people selling y'all dreams.
Yeah.
Just like all those peanut farmers and cotton farmers down in South Georgia. Yeah. Guess what? When the crop got fucked up and they have to turn around and sell those things to China, they don't even want it anymore because the tariffs are too high. Yeah. So he just sells those people dreams because the only thing that they can hold on to is his whiteness.
There you go.
Is the fact that they're not shattering his image and of white supremacy. They don't even care about policy. This guy's foreign policy sucks. He could get us into a nuclear war at any minute, but they don't care because they want to be able to run around and call people nigger and mail bombs and throw people and shoot at people so they can have their guns with their mentally ill people, and have their schools shot up. You know what I mean? Like, that's not us doing that. We're the ones that are trying to fight all that. So we're going to see the outcome of this election. I really, 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 really want Stacey Abrams.
I want you to go back to your point, though. Because you have brought it up, and I ain't mean to cut you off, but you said, you were basically saying, like, if Kemp get elected, what are we going to do? If Abrams get elected, what are we going to do? So I'm saying, like, what do you suggest us to do to, say if Stacey Abrams get elected, what do you suggest that we do to keep this steam rolling?
I mean, make sure that what she said she's going to do, that she does it. Pay attention.
How can we
Pay
do
attention. If you see it going down, if you see her have a meeting or a press conference or something like that, watch it. If you see her about to sign off on some policy, go to your city council meetings. Pay attention to her emails. Excuse me. Sign up.
Just during election time.
Don't wait until tomorrow the law gets passed.
It's time to get involved.
Right. Tomorrow, the law, they're going to sign a law where you have to pay $20 to get on 285. Oh, let me go out and make a sign and protest.
Like, it's too late.
How long is the governor's term?
It's 4.
I think it's 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 4 years. And I think also Fred Hampton, man, he said something that was so true before he was assassinated or murdered. But what he said was, and he was going to West Virginia, Black Panther Party, going to racist cities, states, and they were talking to white people that had Confederate flags in their front yards, and he was pretty much breaking down to them that it's more about classism than it is about race.
Absolutely, yeah. Because back in the civil rights movement, that's one of the things that Martin Luther King used to talk about all the time. He's like, once they freed the slaves, there really wasn't much difference between a poor black person and a poor white person. The only thing that I could sell to them as a politician is white supremacy. You know what I mean? I mean, we're all standing here on equal ground financially. We're all farmers now. I mean, you can't not pay me. You have to pay me. So we're all out here working these farms. And so the only thing that I could do to make this person feel inferior is to pass laws that say, okay, only if you're black and only if you're white. You know what I mean? So that was the difference right there. And they're still trying to build and build and build on that mentality. Like I said, I was on my way down here to go see Obama on Thursday, or to go, to talk to the people out there. So I was driving down the street and I saw the old Confederate Georgia flag.
That's ridiculous.
And I was like, why did somebody just whip that old shit out? Oh, I know why. Because they're it's intimidation. And right underneath it was a Kemp campaign sign.
It tells you everything that you need to know.
And so all those old principles about you got to have your guns, you got to have all that stuff, that's what they're using.
And I don't think people address or ask, why do they take having guns so seriously? Like, nobody asked this question.
Because after they freed the slaves, they felt like they were going to revolt. It's guilt and shame.
And it's like, it's for real, their protection, because a lot of black people, they're not going through the proper process of registering their guns. I mean, some people are nowadays, but it's the whole registration process and all that. And, it get them the right to stand their ground.
But why do they need that, though?
So they can have the right to stand their ground.
Well, that's what they're being driven off of fear, and that's why it's so easy to scare them. That's why all these people that are
they've always been scared of us.
They're scared of everybody.
That's the point.
That's why they tried to break the families and all, and
mentally too.
The alpha male.
Yeah,
it's
breaking.
Always been.
But they're scared of everybody. They're scared of these people that are walking with kids 2,000 miles away from here that are like on foot, living day to day on scraps off the side of the road to get to be in a better place in their lives, to get opportunities to work and take care of their kids. They're scared of them. That's all Trump been talking about all week. Is this caravan that's coming. He said there's more troops now at the border than there are in Iraq.
Obama, he was talking about that. And it's not fair to them.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, I saw that.
And that's another thing about, you go to these Latin and African American communities to recruit people to be in the army so that they can go fight these wars that have nothing to do with them, and to go to the border and stop their uncles and aunties from coming into this country.
Isn't that something?
That's where they go. They go recruiting in the Latin and the black areas. Now you're in the army and
you're fighting against your own people.
You're fighting against your own people.
And Kim, it's crazy because Vlad on Vlad TV, he just said this like 2 nights ago when he posted this. So it's scary. And Don Lemon, he said it best as well. He said that we have to just be straight up now. That
let's just be straight up.
Our biggest threat is white men. These are the people that's our terrorists. These are the people that shoot up the schools, the mail bombings, the lynchings, the stand your ground guys. These are the threats. Not
domestic terrorism. Like
domestic terrorism. And see, and I think what makes them so dangerous is that we view them as non-threatening. We view them as
we ourselves, black people?
Not black people, but on this national stage when it comes to white and black people or Americans. Like for instance, if they post Dylan Roof's picture, they're gonna post his high school picture, but Mike Brown, who was shot, they're gonna post him in a mugshot. So I think that as mass Americans, that people view white men as non-threatening. And thus, we don't even call them terrorists, but if any other racial group has done what they have done throughout just the past 2 years, they would have been labeled as racist.
Dylan Roof shot up that school. Mm-hmm. Then that other guy in Texas shot up the church.
There you go.
Then this guy the other day shot up a synagogue.
Then
the guy was sending out mail bombs. Mm-hmm. Then this other guy went to the supermarket the other day and just shot 2 random black people.
Don't forget the cops.
Yeah.
How many black cops have killed another black
And how
person?
many white people are just calling the cops so they can roll up and do that exact same thing?
And Kim, you remember old dude in Texas, I forgot his name, who was shot by the lady inside of his own apartment. And
yeah.
She was a cop.
Rotham.
Him right there. So we have all these various cases, but nobody's being straight up. Or for instance, how we have people calling the cops on 9-year-olds selling water outside, or somebody who's parked incorrectly. Like, people aren't talking about white people. They are the biggest threat. And I'm not saying all white people, but
you got to look at where we getting our news from is ran by white people.
Yeah.
CNN, we love CNN, but it's ran by a white person. What's his name? Ted Turner.
Yeah.
It's a white person.
Yeah.
Fox, y'all know how Fox News
is. Yeah, that's not even a question.
All these news outlets are from white people. So at the end of the day, it's always gonna be kind of biased.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of those people in those writer rooms.
But
are white.
let me tell you
There's
something.
Probably not that many black writers in that writers.
Nah, not at
those
all.
news topics.
And see, it's scary too because I just found out last night that the owner of Amazon owns the Washington Post.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how can?
Yeah.
So if we have corporations owning journalism publications, then they aren't going to write about what Amazon is doing.
Well, CVS and Aetna, like the drug store and the insurance company. I mean, those are the sorts of things when they say regulation. Those are the sorts of things the government could put a stop to. Those are the things that the government could put a stop to if they don't have somebody in their pocket. Those are the things we need to pay attention to.
That's scary, man.
At the end of the day, like,
I mean, what is Amazon?
As hard as like, as much as I feel like the Democrats are the people that care about the morals and all that shit. Yeah. But at the end of the day, this shit is business.
It is.
That's why we hopping in these wars in these other countries because for business reasons.
All money.
Favor for a favor.
Yeah.
We're gonna help you out. Help us out cut the price on the oil for us. It's a whole barter system, like, and that's why
Vietnam. That right there. Nobody talks about that, but heroin. That was the main reason. It was for drugs. And nobody even just wants to address it straight up. But Jay Black, I mean, you said it perfectly. And I'm gonna be real, 9/11. I mean, if you study how that happened or why that happened, even if it wasn't intentional or even if it was planned, look at everything that happened after that. The war.
They bombed the towers before that. So I feel like it was all like
it had to be planned.
I feel like the first bombing was the test.
Yep.
Okay, this ain't work. Let's see how we gonna do it this time.
Yep.
Cause they say what's his name? Osama bin Laden. He was a part of.
He was part of the CIA
in like the early 90s.
And he was a part of it. Okay, so he was a part of it during the first Bush's administration.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So the first
that was
Bush,
like 89,
they had business dealings with each other, but allegedly, this is one of the theories that went sour. So Bush Jr. vowed that he was going to get back at them for what they said and did to his father. So they had this ongoing thing. So when the opportunity was right, remember, there was a discrepancy during that campaign and he didn't get sworn in right away. Because remember in Florida, the Chads voting and all that. So as soon as he did get sworn in, it was not too long after that when 9/11 happened. I guess he wanted to say, he did this on his watch.
He had it in 2000? Yeah,
2000.
and then it happened in 2001.
Right.
That's fast, man.
Yeah. So I mean, allegedly there was something going on because they owned a lot of oil companies. Right. But it wasn't really a year when you think about it because they still were counting for months.
He got sworn in.
Well, after he got sworn in,
and then that fall.
Right.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, like you said, besides the fact that, that's when foreign business dealings come into play because you did some foul shit with them. Now they mad at us. Now people got to die because they're trying to get back at you and your family for your.
And that's why I say
business. It's business. But see, what people accuse the Bush administration of doing, Trump is doing with the Russians blatantly in everybody's face, and they're acting like they don't care. So there are some Democrats like the Maxine Waters of the world and the Nancy Pelosi's and Cory Booker and all them that are out there really, really trying to work against him and his policies because his policies are just going to end up fucking us. Yeah. Because even though he's saying the job numbers are good, those jobs are like not paying much and none of those people have insurance. So I don't care if you hired a bunch of people at McDonald's. But if that's going to make your numbers look good and that's what you keep bragging about, those people cannot feed all their children. Yeah. And they don't have any insurance. And now we're back to that.
Back to square one.
So I just really want people to get more into politics. You know what I'm saying? Contact us. If there's anything you want us to find out, follow us on the gram, tag us and stuff. People tag me all the time. I try to repost stuff because these are some of the things that we need to pay attention to and we need to discuss. And like I always say, and it's not that I don't really like football or whatever, but as easily and as openly as we discuss sports, we need to be that easily and open to discussing politics.
But I think again, credit to Trump. We are because we're discussing politics a lot since he's been in office because he's entertaining. Yeah. Trump is entertaining more than anything. We talking about all these tactics and shit he's doing because it's entertaining, like sports and love and hip hop, and that's entertaining. So it's easy for us to take that in. Yeah. It's easy for us to be mad at Trump, talk shit about Trump because it's entertaining. Yeah. The Bushes and all them, like we talk shit about them, but ain't no president been as entertaining as Trump. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. Obama, he was cool. Obama, he did his job.
He was entertaining too.
He went there and did his job.
Clock in, clock out.
He clocked in and clocked out like a regular nigga.
No, he did more. He did more for us than we are giving him credit for because you see black excellence like that and it's just put blatantly in your face.
And poised too.
That really raised up a whole generation. There are people that lived 8 years of their lives.
That's real.
It depends on at what stage you were in your life. You could have been between the ages of 8 and 18. But for that section of your life, you had a black president. And you know that we have, in my generation, something that we never had or we never seen. So I don't know what that could have done to the esteem of some of these little black boys in this country. Because each generation has their leader. And for so long, it's either been an entertainer or someone in sports. But we can say that we had a black man that reached the highest level of government in this country. And that bothers the hell out of people that are racist. Yeah.
And Kim, I wouldn't even say people that are blatantly racist or even some white people.
And it might bring it out of you. You don't know you're racist until you see this, and you're like, "Oh, I'm not comfortable with this," and you don't know why.
It makes me uncomfortable.
It makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's scary because I think that President Obama, he revealed so much, just like how Trump woke a lot of us up. President Obama, he revealed a lot of people's racism, and I think that even when it was people who would address him as just Obama. Not even wanting to call him President Obama or my dad.
It's the same thing going on now, just opposite.
But the thing about it, like I was saying, Trump wasn't all. I mean, Obama wasn't all out there like, oh yeah, he's a dummy.
Right, right.
He's he was stupid. What did he say? Oh, she's ignorant. He called Gillum a thief.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, what? Where did that come from?
Wow.
He just calls people names. He called Omarosa a dog. Like,
yeah, right. No filter.
Yeah, he's just not.
At least he's honest though.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
at least he's honest.
Correct. I know what I expect from Trump.
He shows you where he's
giving me the choice to fuck with him or not fuck with him.
Just straight up.
You feel me? And it's like, I'm either gonna fuck with him or I'm not.
Yeah, because I remember Snoop said that he respects somebody who's racist. That's blatantly racist. Rather than, all right, so he can respect somebody who has the Confederate flags with the Trump signs rather than somebody who is your next door neighbor and saying, I'm not racist. And then, you know, you find out like how they feel about you. So yeah, I respect that as well. I don't respect Trump, but I respect how he's straightforward with it.